Explicit content and mature language warning. Please be advised that the following content contains mature themes and explicit language. This includes, but is not limited to, strong language, profanity, and potentially offensive or sensitive dialogue that some viewers may find inappropriate or objectionable. The language incorporated into these future clips is of an adult nature and is intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you are not comfortable with explicit content or strong language, we recommend you do not proceed. Thank you for your understanding, and we hope you still find enjoyment in the video, should you choose to continue.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Oh. Oh.
101.
Right? You shouldn't have outside influence like a fucking vibrating butt plug up your arse during a game of chess to tell you what moves to make. When you're cooking on a MasterChef, you shouldn't be reading the fucking recipes off your phone. You should know what you're doing.
What product I'm talking about? It's Murders at Karlov Manor, the best thing to come out in Magic the Gathering this year. No, it f***ing isn't. Can you imagine? Murders at
Coram the Undertaker is probably my favourite legend from the set, giving me an option to build Jund Mill, but I need to be mean to it in the interest of journalistic integrity. Coram looks like he smells like shit. You know he skulks around the graveyard and probably has a thing for rotting meat. And you know what? More power to him. You know he's an absolute freak because skulls on the belt is one thing, but what kind of a sick cunt collects spinal cords? Patreon is like a crowdsourcing platform for people doing things that basically are difficult to do on the internet. Talking about luxury cardboard rectangles is not the easiest thing to monetize, especially when you like to talk about dicks and semen.
Got it? No? Well, let's move on anyway.
Fresh out of the shower, which means I have an arsehole that might be one of the cleanest in the world, at least for a brief moment. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word in the first 60 seconds of a YouTube video. Moment. We all like powerful and cool magic cards. I also really like powerful and complicated magic cards too. Hogar was a magic card that immediately piqued my interest. My little ears pricked up, my synapses fired, and my cock was engorged. It was exciting. It's like saying my left hand isn't my right hand. You might be correct, but it's not helpful. If anything, it makes you sound kind of fucking simple. There's a casual versus competitive divide, and if I'm honest with you, I'll do a whole video on that soon. But I think both can exist and coexist at the same time. I don't think coexistence involves leg spreading and scissoring. That's not what I was getting at there. Even if the 2 weeks leading to this kind of sucked complete ass. And not in a good way. It is akin to farting. It's like letting out a gaseous wind from your rectum through the forceful expulsion and separation of your arsehole's lips. We all do it, but you don't have to do it publicly on full display with your arsehole flapping around in the wind. And certainly no one thinks you're clever for doing it and doing it out loud. And those effects aren't often good ones, like the lingering stank of when you've farted in an elevator on the way to work, but you accidentally shot and followed through. Which is further interesting because Queen Lizzie is dead now. The times they are a-changing. In spite of a golden age, I'd rather lick a turd than play with a Traxxer. That's not true. I'd much rather you play a Traxxer against me than I lick a dog shit. I'll be honest. It's a real good Legend either. This is the era where Wizards weren't obsessed with making legendary. Fast forward to now, we've got Energy Commander in the Fallout sets, and one coming in Modern Horizons 3's precons in June. That's right, sometimes you're waiting for a bus, and suddenly Wizards release too much product. That's the saying, right? I'm sure my dad used to say that. To be fair, and then when you crack that food, you get a tapped treasure, a tapped clue, and a tapped food. And thus you create a slow, lumbering sort of chain of artifacts. Now bear in mind the whenever vending machine is not when you pay 2 mana to sack the food, it's whenever you sack a food. Remember, Throne of Geth allows you to sacrifice an artifact. If you use Throne of Geth to sacrifice a food, whilst we have Nuka-Cola vending machine in play, we get a tapped treasure. If you do it with Academy Manufacturer in play, we get a tapped treasure, a tapped food, and a tapped clue. That's not a combo. That's a synergy. How the event is meant to work is that you get 3 boosters of Baldur's Gate to draft with and 1 collector booster to open to add to your pool. But on top of that, all stores will get 4 copies of this. It's an 8-inch by 11-inch giant dungeon, essentially. I say giant, 8 inches isn't that big. That's what I tell everyone, because that's how big my dick is. A lot of modern commanders will wipe your ass for you and tell you you're pretty. They are owned by a huge company like Hasbro, who is hemorrhaging money, and they're one of the golden geese to be milked. And yes, I do believe you can milk geese. Not through the nipple, though. It'd be through the...
Billy.
Oh, that's good. Like a machine gun. Just spinning my cock around like some sort of whirlwind past them. If they play a dork now, we get to bow mash to it in the dick. Okay, it's a realm walker. It's not quite cock-shottable, shall we say, for the game overall. But the fact that I can just watch and assume they got there, and if I missed whatever they named off the tainted pack because I wasn't paying attention, I was too busy like fingering my bum hole or whatever, then I've got to now pay attention. And I'm sure you can come up with your own joke about cum. But alas, some people still get upset when someone counterspells. To those people I say, get good, you fucking scrub. Shurikai is a cool Power Ranger themed design that I should, or at least they claim as they turn their dinosaurs sideways on top of their anime titty playmat. What more is there to say about Eureka? Once upon a time I thought ninjas were cool. Then I grew up and became an adult. I got a job. The job is making videos about card games on the internet. Elves are the missionary position of typal payoffs. It's blue denim jeans and a black tee. It's vanilla ice cream in a world of Ben and Jerry's. It's margarita pizza but you ask for no cheese. It's sex with the lights off. It's masturbating without the handful of fruit that you're used to. Friends don't let friends do elves. Especially with this shit. This green-black elf commander that showed up, Paul Region, and a little bit of everyone's favourite new mechanic strapped on, Ward 2. It's like hexproof, but it's worse, both in the sense that it's not as good as hexproof, but it's way more readily used by Wizards of the Coast to push obnoxious cards to be that ever little bit better. This thing makes a copy of every dragon that enters the battlefield and stops them being legendary to allow for some complete nonsense, and it would be good enough if it didn't also just have Ward strapped on too to make sure that it's more playable than other dragon commanders. My problem with Ward is that it's used just to make things more desirable and playable. Day old plate of nondescript meat, Ward 1. Gwyneth Paltrow's Jade Fanny Egg, Ward 2. A dog shit left in the sun, Ward 3. On top of that, I've lost this fucking card limited 3 times. Normally when you push to common to uncommon to rare to mythic rare or in a card type, the argument is the cards you get more powerful as you go. So there's always this interesting thing of like, if you look at some of the best uncommons in the game, like Mirkwood Bats. Sorry, Mirkwood Bats is common, I forgot, fuck me. Mirkwood Bats is a common. Can you imagine what the mythic rare version of this does? It'll probably like suck you off and spit in your mouth if you asked it nicely. For a card, you can make a creature unblockable, you can turn it upside down or tickle your bumhole. Mana ramp is everywhere, and that like lands are sacrosanct, that they are holy and we can't possibly blow them up or nuke the board in that way. Meanwhile, you can ramp as much as you want. You can literally drop trow and take a steaming fucking dump of blue-green lands matters value onto the board, but the white player at the table can't Armageddon? Comedy works. But what I am saying is that these cards can help to make the environment more interesting, where people have to actually play against interaction and disruption before just popping off and spunking their entire load all over your fucking face. Collector Oath is a known entity, but March the Machine. This one was really out of the blue. You have to remove an article of clothing for every 5 points of damage you take. And although I know this is probably a joke, I can guarantee the person writing this has never had sex. A lot of modern commanders will wipe your ass for you and tell you you're pretty. And one of they are owned by a huge company like Hasbro, who is hemorrhaging money, and they're one of the golden geese to be milked. And yes, I do believe you can milk geese. Not through the nipple though, it'd be through the... Yeah, but something that I kind of want to do when it comes to Commander, which is the most inefficient way to play Magic. Every game takes a million years and every fucker's not paying attention. I like to tighten up other parts of it to allow the social side to expand. And rolling one singular die and just getting the fuck on with the opening of the game is how I do that. This is called the Pleasant Kenobi method. I'm going to fucking brand it with my name because it's part of my ego, but also I would like people to tell me if they've tried the Pleasant Kenobi method. It actually sounds like, I don't know why, but Pleasant Kenobi method sounds like some sort of strategy towards, I don't know, getting pregnant as a couple. Like, yeah, she lifts her head up in the air and screams like a banshee after I come on her. That's the Pleasant Kenobi method. Anyway.
Hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you the most. But if you're not, hit that subscribe button. It's easy. Always check out all these other videos. There's plenty of shorts as well. Something for everybody. For the most support, head over to Patreon. All of this stuff needs to get purchased. Just open it for your enjoyment, as well as mine. But to throw back support to you guys, I give away monthly giveaways, larger and larger and larger, based on the tier that you throw your support back at me. Your name always is at the end of my content. And then you get all the access before any other YouTube viewer out there. So, thanks again for showing up. We'll see you in the next one. Peace, I'm out of here.